Now we know that when there is transaction that is taken place between the members of the joint venture and joint venture or vice versa, if there is a cash call that is to be taken as only a monetary transaction, only a transaction that is generated in money, then it will not to be leviable for GST. But if it is not merely, if the cash call is not merely taken as transaction in money, then it will leviable for GST. Now, here there are 4 members in the joint venture, including the operating member, and each are contributing rupees 100 each as their share in the joint venture. So the total amount collected comes to rupees 400. Now out of this 400, the operating member purchases a instrument or equipment, and out of this equipment the joint venture will start its operation for production of oil. Now in this case, money paid for the purchase of the machinery is merely in the nature of capital contribution. Here the capital are contributed by each partner, each member, and out of this capital contribution the machinery is purchased. So here the money paid for the purchase of machinery is merely to be considered as in the nature of the capital contribution, and therefore it will not be, it is to be taken as transaction of money, and there will be no GST. Now in the next question, in the next example, there are 4 members in the joint venture, including the operating member. Now each one contribute rupees 100 as part of their share. So the total amount collected come to rupees 400. Now the operating member thereafter use its own machinery and perform the exploration and production activity on behalf of the joint venture. Here out of the amount collected, which amounts to rupees 400, operating member does not purchase any sort of machinery, any sort of instrument, but he used its own machinery for performing the activities. That means for performing the exploration and production activities for the joint venture. Now the operating member use its own machinery and therefore providing service to the joint venture. So it's form part of supply as per CGST Act 2017. Here the operating member of the joint venture provides its machinery, provides his machinery to the joint venture for the activities that is to be run by the joint venture. Now here the service of renting out, of leasing out the machinery is provided by the operating member to the joint venture. So here service provider is the operating member and service recipient is the joint venture. Now in this case the operating member is recovering the cost appropriated towards the machinery and the service from the other joint venture member in their participating interest ratio. Therefore it will attract GST in the hands of the operating member, because operating member is the provider of the service and the provider of the service is liable to pay GST. So the conclusion is that any transaction involving the supply of the goods and services or both without consideration is not a supply unless it is deemed to be a supply under GST law, that is Schedule 1 of CGST Act 2017, that is activity to be treated as supply even if without consideration. That means if there is supply of goods and services and if it is made for consideration, then it will be taken as taxable event. Any transaction involving supply of the goods or services or both without consideration is not to be taken as taxable event. But few exceptions are there. We have discussed it in our earlier class that as per Schedule 1 of CGST Act 2017, we have 4 exceptions where even if there is no consideration, supply of goods or services is to be treated as taxable event. But the items that are not appeared, that are not covered under Schedule 1, for them there should be consideration, or without consideration supply of goods or services or both is not to be treated as supply. Now, here we need some clarification about section 7 subsection 1 and clause B of section or section 7 subsection 1 or clause C, that is to be read with part 4 of the Schedule 1 of CGST Act 2017, which is related with importation of services. Now, if there is importation of services, the first question is that whether that importation is made by any taxable, whether that importation is made by non-taxable online recipient or not. If the importation of services is made by non-taxable online recipient, that means the online recipient who has received the importation of services does not have any registration under GST norms, then the question is whether such importation is made against consideration. If such importation is made at free of cost, then it will not form part of supply or no GST will be levied. But if such importation is made by a non-taxable online recipient for a consideration, then the question is whether there is online information and database accessories or retrieval services there. That means here the importation of services is made by non-taxable online recipient for a consideration and it is to be taken as OIDAR services. That means online information, database, accessories and retrieval services. If it is not a OIDAR services, then no GST will be there. That means importation of services is made by a non-taxable online recipient for a consideration, but it not covered under OIDAR services. That means online information and database, accessories and retrieval services. Then there will be no GST. But if a non-taxable online recipient imported services for a consideration and that service is covered under OIDAR services, then it will attract GST. Now the question is, who will pay the GST? Because here the provider of the services are not liable for GST because he is not a resident in India. He or she provides service from abroad. So he is not responsible, it will not responsible for paying any GST as per CGST Act 2017. Now, if the provider of services is not liable for pay the GST, then recipient of services are liable for paying that GST on the principle of reverse charge mechanism. But here, the recipient are also a non-taxable person because the recipient does not have any registration under GST norms. Now, if this situation is prevail, that means if the recipient is a non-taxable person, but he pay consideration against importation of services. Now, if the nature of the services are not covered under OIDAR, then it will not liable for GST because who will pay the GST? Here, the provider of service are not liable for pay GST because it resides outside India. Recipient are not liable for paying GST under RCM because the recipient does not have any registration. So, if any non-taxable online recipient receive import services from abroad for consideration, but it not covered under OIDAR, then it will not liable for GST. But if that service covered under OIDAR, then there will be an agent in India. Online information and database accessories services are provided through the agent in India. That means the provider of the service who are residing abroad, they are providing their services in India through an agent. And here, the provider are not responsible for paying GST. Recipient, since the recipient of services is a non-taxable person, he is also not responsible for paying GST, but for OIDAR services, there is a third person. That means through that third person or through that agent, the service is being provided. Yeah, that agent is responsible for paying GST.